studio. But let me remind you that this Saturday, Big Chef is on, and this Saturday the kids are doing soups. Ooh, interesting. Actually, Sunday, which is tomorrow, I'll be watching. You should watch. Watch these, little kids dazzle in the kitchen, and of course, entertain yourself with that. Mr. Abbas, we are still in the studio. We are not done with our conversation. So I want to get your reaction. I'm sure you have seen the communique by government that should any driver or mate, take or effect the new fares, they can't be arrested. Have you seen it?
Yeah, we've seen it. Last Wednesday, we were with them and we expressed our displeasure that the tone is too harsh. They accepted to, withdraw it from the public. So we've done something about that.
About it?
Yeah.
Right. So what's are you still in meeting with the Transport Ministry?
Coming Wednesday.
Okay. So you haven't reached a consensus yet?
Oh, we should have concluded last Wednesday, but the Deputy Minister who steps in for the Transport Minister, by then the Transport Minister was out of the country. And he was included with the previous meetings we've been held in, looking at the fragile situation of the case. He pleaded with us, of which we agreed. So the meeting was again postponed to come in Wednesday, which I believe strongly that, God willing, will come to conclusion of this brouhaha, who pays what, how many percentage, and
so
that.
If I can just do a follow-up on that, I think two key questions for me. As it stands,
again,
as it stands now, have fares been increased? If they have, by what percentage? If they have not, what do commuters do when they sit in a trotro and the driver or the mate is demanding new?
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Joy News Today. My name is Joyprime. We're coming to you live from our studios in Kokomlende. You're on DTT because we're free to on DSTV channel 421 and Go TV channel 125. We are your home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. Coming up this afternoon, Dumsor to end in a few days. Words of ECG board chairman as he apologizes to Ghanaians for the pain caused by the incessant outages.
This is having a negative.
Putting arrangements in place to procure additional fuel to run all our thermal plants and power producing plants.
Ashanti Regional Minister has meanwhile hit hard at ECG over calls for an apology, explaining police invitation of ECG manager was for breach of agreement with the Kumasi Technical University. Newly outlawed NDC running mate Professor J. Nano Akufo-Addo vows all public officials will be prosecuted in the next NDC administration.
John and I have agreed that whoever has participated in the plunder of the state must be held accountable.
Will be her exact role as vice president in the next NDC government.
She will have oversight, among others, of the education sector, the health sector, gender and social protection.
Plus, the Fourth Estate demands publishing of full KPMG audit report into the GRA SML contract after the president asked GRA to continue with the contract to monitor the downstream petroleum sector.
He would be very measured in perhaps attacking KPMG until I see the KPMG report. Because I did a JIDA investigation, the president issued some directives on the JIDA report.
We have a response from the SML on this controversy for you. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and X Spaces at Joy News on TV. My personal handle is @Denana Aisha. Please do stay for details. Many thanks for choosing us. The Ashanti Regional Minister Simon Osei-Mensah says he cannot heed to demands for an apology by staff of ECG for doing his job. Workers of the Electricity Company of Ghana in the Ashanti region said they have been forced to abandon the revenue mobilization exercise for fear of their lives. They say they are afraid the conduct of the Ashanti Regional Minister Simon Osei-Mensah, who ordered the arrest of the General Manager for Ashanti East for failing to connect Kumasi Technical University, could embolden members of the public to attack the staff. Chairman of the Senior Staff Association of ECG Ashanti West, John Mensah, tells Joy News the action of the regional minister has affected the performance of the workers.
The workers are in red as they hoist red flags in protest of the arrest of the Ashanti East General Manager for failing to heed calls to reconnect power to Kumasi Technical University. The workers say they have been infuriated by the conduct of the Ashanti Regional Minister, Simon Osei-Mensah, who also doubles as chairman of the Regional Security Council, RESEC. They have been demanding an unqualified apology from the regional minister and also withdrawing the police case. Chairman of the Senior Staff Association of ECG Ashanti West, John Mensah, says the workers are afraid of their lives as a result of the conduct of the Ashanti Regional Minister.
We are still going on the revenue mobilization exercise. Our people are there. They are disconnecting, they are collecting revenue. So if the minister can call the arrest of a general manager for a region, then the staff are not safe. The staff who are doing the revenue mobilization in order to get money to fuel the plant and then to take us out of the energy crisis. And you, the minister, you are still pushing, you are encouraging that they shouldn't pay their bill. Then I think that one is unfortunate. So that is why we are saying that you should withdraw the case from the police station so that the staff have the confidence to visit the houses or the premises and collect the revenue. It's a form of threat. It's a form of threat to our members.
On Monday, the National Executive Council of the ECG Workers Union bowed all 4 regional managers of the company in the Ashanti region, who are automatic members of the Ashanti Regional Security Council, from attending meetings called by the regional minister. Vice Chairman of the Senior Staff Association, Bismarck Adoma, tells Joy News the workers have been infuriated by the regional minister, who has been defending his action on radio.
You only heard me on radio defending what he did. It makes us uncomfortable. Somebody doing his genuine work and causing his arrest, and you are on radio defending it. So it makes us very, very uncomfortable.
Meanwhile, the workers warned their next line of action could be dire if the regional minister fails to apologize or withdraw the case against the general manager. Yusuf Osmanu Abdullah is the chairman of the Senior Workers Union, Ashanti East.
We are not deterred. Even if his house is owing, it should be prepared. We are coming on him. Yes. If you are owing, you are a customer, you need to pay. That's all. If he's not owing, we don't have problem with him. But if he's owing, we are coming on him, so you should be prepared. I told you this is the first step, and we have a series of, and if we get to the bridge, we will cross it. The vulnerable is owing and we are disconnecting. How much more the regional minister? It's better for him, or someone should tell him to to go and withdraw the case and apologize to the entire ECG fraternity. The Workers' Front are not happy with his actions.
From Kumasi, for Joy News, Oimenteria reporting.
The Ashanti Regional Minister is this afternoon justifying his decision to lodge a complaint to the police against the management of ECG for breach of agreement in a payment schedule with the Kumasi Technical University. According to him, through his office, the company reached an agreement with the university to defray their debt within an agreed time frame. Though the university kept to the agreed schedule, the ECG disconnected the university, claiming the action was taken by a national task force. The police invitation of engineer Makasumeni Riafe to write a statement at the police station over the disconnection has sparked agitation among staff of the company. But Mr. Osemensa says the campus of the Technical University was disconnected, though the facility uses prepaid meters.
What I want to tell you that I asked the police to invite engineer Makasumeni Riafe on security grounds because of the happenings in the electricity power sector in the region, and the fact that a task force can always come from outside to disconnect without the proper information. What is ironical is that they tell me they are not under me, and for that matter, I cannot tell them what to do, but they want to tell me how I have to execute my security responsibilities as enshrined in the Security and Intelligence Agencies Act of 2020, Act 1030. They want to tell me. But they say I cannot tell them what to do. And I want to also tell them what they stated in their publication, I think on the 18th of April 2024, that their managers are members of the Regional Security Council, is Papabo Force. They are not members of the Regional Security Council. The Regional Security Council invited them to come and brief us on the adequacy or otherwise of security measures put in place at the various strategic installations of the Electricity Company of Ghana in the Ashanti region. And they are not members. And we do to every institution where we find security risk. You can find out from all the vice chancellors, both private and public universities. We meet them every quarter to discuss the security issues.
Let's stay a bit more with power because President Akufo-Addo has reiterated his government's commitment in investing in the country's power sector. He says several policies and measures have been outlined to incentivize green investment and foster a culture of energy efficiency. President Akufo-Addo made the statement at the commissioning of 15 peak megawatt solar power plant at Kalio in the Upper West region. Joy News' Upper West regional correspondent Rafiq Salam has more.
President Akufo-Addo noted that the commissioning of the 15 megawatt solar power project at Kalio is not just about providing electricity, but represented a fundamental shift towards sustainable development. He averred that renewable energy sources such as solar power does not only reduce the country's reliance on fossil fuel, but also help reduce the effect on climate change as well.
By investing in renewable energy infrastructure, we're securing a reliable source of electricity and creating new opportunities for economic growth and job creation. This plant will not only power homes and businesses, but also serve as a catalyst for development in the Upper West region, attracting investment and spurring innovation. To this end, government is implementing a series of policies and measures to incentivize green investments, foster a culture of energy efficiency, and prioritize the development of solar, wind, and hydroelectric power projects as key strategies for the growth of the energy sector in the country. vision, however, is not only to be energy self-sufficient, but also to set the stage for Ghana to emerge as an eco-friendly country in the region, inspiring neighboring countries to follow suit in their pursuit of a greener, more energy technology-centered future.
President Akufo-Addo spoke of the benefits that the people in the region and the country at large will derive from the commissioning of the solar power plant.
From this plant, adding 15 megawatts of power to the national electricity grid will also improve the quality of power supply in the Upper West region, reduce national carbon emissions by displacing energy that gas-fired thermal plants would otherwise have generated. I'm told that that is estimated at 8,117 tons. It will also promote practical studies in the development of solar power by the technical universities in the northern part of the country. As I indicated 2 years ago, government is continuously investing in the electricity transmission network to enable the country to evacuate more reliable renewable energy through the national grid to support the extension of electricity to all parts of the country.
Deputy Minister for Energy, Herbert Krapper, assured Ghanaians of the plans put in place by President Akufo-Addo to ensuring that the power outages in the country are a thing of the past.
His Excellency the President has led all of us in the power sector to ensure that we are putting arrangements in place to procure additional fuel to run all our thermal plants and power producing plants at full capacity. And His Excellency the President has also led realignment of operational and technical arrangements in the entire power sector value chain, which is the reason I'm able to assure the people of Ghana that in the next few days, the power challenges that we are seeing under the leadership of His Excellency the President, it will be a thing of the past.
The project was funded by the German Development Bank, KfW, at 60 million euros with counterpart funding from the Volta River Authority, VRA, pegged at 8.2 million euros. Kofi Tutu-Ajare is the board chair of Volta River Authority.
Aside from affirming our commitment to ensure the provision of clean and reliable and sustainable power, the completion of this plant today has enormous benefits to the Kaleo community and by extension, the northern parts of the country. I think it is true to say that with this plant up and running, this community will be the first community in Ghana, including the Wa area, to run solely on solar power on good days.
There were representatives from the Spanish, German embassies, and the European Union at the function. Our Powers Regional Minister, Stephen Yakubu, disclosed that the project is of enormous importance to the people, starting from the construction stage, which has employed several people in the region.
During its construction phase, the project provided employment opportunities for several individuals, with 95% hailing from nearby communities. Additionally, the project's corporate social responsibility initiatives, including the rehabilitation of the Kaleo DA Primary School, improvement of road infrastructure, and the potential for tourism development, exemplify our commitment to holistic development and community empowerment.
The Kaleo solar power plant will increase Ghana and VRA capacity to 50 megawatts. It will also diversify the energy portfolio by adding more renewable energy to its fold. Reporting for Joy News, Rafik Salam, Kaleo.
Well, board chair of the Electricity Company of Ghana, Herbert Krapper, has since apologized to Ghanaians for the intermittent power cuts. The apology was posted on his Facebook page. and it reads, "We are fully confident that the measures being put in place should resolve the service interruptions. We empathize with all consumers and apologize unreservedly for the effects of the outages on our daily lives." Political scientist at the University of Ghana, Dr. Kwame Asah-Asante, says the NDC running mate, Professor Nana Opoku-Agyeman, hailing from the Central Region alone, will not inure to increased votes for the NDC. Professor Nana Opoku-Agyeman at Outdooring yesterday vowed the next NDC administration will prosecute corrupt government officials. She made the promise at Outdooring at the University of Professional Studies, Accra. She also took a swipe at government over what she believes is mismanagement of the economy. My colleague James Aveji has more.
Draped in the symbolic red, white, green and black colors of the umbrella, hundreds of NDC sympathizers and party bigwigs gather here at the UPSA auditorium in Accra to witness the outdooring of Professor Nana Opoku-Agyeman as running mate to John Dramani Mahama.
Professor Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman.
Chairman of the party, Johnson Asedu Nketia, set the tone for the night by bursting the bubbles of those anxiously waiting for appointment in the next NDC government.
Some people are not only fighting about the positions they will occupy, they are telling all others that they will be the kingmakers and they will be making their appointment. If we are not careful, this will dampen the enthusiasm and the spirit of our followers.
Rolling out her vision to party faithfuls and Ghanaians, Professor Nana Opoku-Agyeman did not shy away from taking a swipe at government.
I don't know about you, but the image I get looking at that hole is a trench in utter shock that anyone could believe it was intended as a Thanksgiving gift to the Almighty, invisible, God only wise. Such a report will not find COVID money shared for partisan political campaign purposes. I will not, in the advancement of self-serving ambition, declare to the whole world that I was only the driver's mate.
So what will her government offer Ghanaians?
The report will highlight new roads, harbors, railway lines, not what we've seen of late, Ayalolo buses. You will find the lack of intimidation of opposing voices. You will find serious investment and practice to enable a digitized economy and society. The report will go on to point at housing projects, including the famous Saglemi housing complex, and even those that somebody has happily raised to make room for a presumed.
Knowing the role Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is playing as head of the economic management team and lead on government digitization agenda and what may be expected of the next Vice President, former President John Dramani Mahama explains what the exact job description of his Vice President will be.
She has great insights into human resource management, empowerment and social development. And under my administration, she will have oversight, among others, of the education sector, the health sector, gender and social protection.
Professor Nana Opoku-Agyeman says the next NDC administration will deal with all corrupt government officials.
John and I have agreed that whoever has participated